Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Sunday? I'm doing great. My girl is doing great. My family's doing great. Hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you had a great weekend. If you could please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos, and I'm gonna put it in the description of this video. So what's up, man? How was your weekend? How are you doing? Me, I've been trying to do some more content, but I've been bogged down a little bit lately. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. I've just been drained, you know, stress of being between jobs and such. And I'm gonna get through this, and we're gonna keep pushing through and giving the content that you guys want. But today I'm finally going to talk about Bath Penitentiary. Now, I don't know if many of you know about it. It is a low medium security penitentiary with the same security classification as Fembrook. They're all the same, really, because they're all mediums. Once you're in a medium, you're in a medium, right? But at the end of the day, they do kind of schedule them differently. And if you're going from a medium, you could go to a low medium before you ever have access to a camp. Or if you're somebody like me who will never have access to a camp because of escapes, then they'll put you in somewhere like Fembrook or Bath as the lowest security jail you'll get to. But let's keep it trill. Most people aren't going to Bath. The reason why I haven't done a Bath video is because there's nothing interesting that happens there. The reality is, it is the definition of integration. And anybody who cracks out of any other jail for debts, for running because they're sex offenders, for just being shady characters, a lot of them end up in Bath. And if you are a guy who doesn't have PC issues or your name is good, they would never send you there in a million years, because it would just be you victimizing a bunch of people that are soft as hell. It's just not known as being a hardcore jail. I know there's guys in Bath that are hardcore guys, and the story I'm going to tell you is going to prove that. You need to stay tuned to this story because it's crazy. It shows that integration doesn't really mean anything. At the end of the day, somebody's always going to stand on some principles, and because of that, I'm not even going to mention the alleged attacker's name in this video. He doesn't deserve that. Hopefully he's innocent and the person gets off. But we're going to start with a guy named Darren Philip Rouse. Now, this guy is an East Coaster somewhere in Nova Scotia, multiple sex offenses on his record. Now, at the end of the day, he had like sexual interference, sexual exploitation, sexual assault, multiple times. And at the end of the day, the guy's just a straight up piece of crap, right? Like, let's keep it true. Like, just type that name into Google and you'll see everything you need to know about this person. Now, he had been moved multiple times from prisons out east for his safety. And that's because he is a high profile ex-offender, and this dude clearly is drawing a lot of attention because his name was all over the media for getting slap on the wrist sentences for offense after offense after offense. Now, the time he was in for, he was doing something like 11 years for multiple ex-offenses, okay? And they finally, I guess, shipped him to Warkworth because he wasn't safe out east. And from Warkworth, he somehow ended up in Bath. Now, I assume most likely he was probably assaulted in Warkworth, but if he wasn't, he must have just moved down in security quickly and been shipped out for his own safety. Like, let's keep it real. Most guys that have their name in Google for ex-offenses are at risk. You just are. There's going to be people that are not okay with you being in the joint. Now, Bath Penitentiary is on the same property as Millhaven Penitentiary. That is 5775 Bath Road, Kingston, Ontario. It's not actually Kingston. It's like 25 kilometers east or west of Kingston. I don't know which one. But it's on the same property as Millhaven, and it's a similar setup to Fembrook Institution, except it's older. So you're living in like houses, right? Basically, like apartments with probably a handful of other inmates, probably 8, maybe 10 other inmates. Now, in those kind of joints, you're living good, right? You get to cook your own food. You get to go and choose your food from a grocery store. You get minimum security with a fence around the joint. It's as comfortable living as you can get. And I think that they tried to bury this dude in this joint. Now, Bath holds 500 dudes. It does. And not every one of those guys is going to be soft. It's a fact. And there's sometimes in situations like this, people can get carried away, right? They can. Now, let's talk about what happened. He was attacked in the shower, and they say that he died from blunt force trauma. Now, what I assume happened is somebody attacked him while he was vulnerable, because when you are in the shower, you are vulnerable. There's no possible way you can have a weapon. You're also going to be slipping all over the place. And I'm sure that's what this person thought. And this person also probably didn't want to be caught on a camera anywhere, so they attacked him in the shower. Now, he was attacked, I assume, stomped out and booted out, because they said he was deceased on scene. So I guess they probably tried some life-saving tips. Who knows how long it was before they found his body, and they declared him deceased on the scene. At least that is what I saw. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I don't have the story. The Canadian media never tells us the truth about these things, but I'm going to tell you what I think. I think this dude has been running from prisons, and I've told you in multiple past videos, word gets around through cons faster than anything else. You are not going to be able to be integrated if your case is an X-assault and it is on Google, especially if you are a multiple time offender. It's never going to fly. Somebody is going to crash out. Somebody is going to become a crash test dummy and take you out. That's why if anybody watches my videos who thinks about being an ex-offender, who wanted to be an ex-offender, or who has ex-offenses, you need to grow up, bud. You need to just shoot yourself in the face, to be honest. But we wouldn't be so lucky. I'm just saying that, understand, in prison, you are not safe. The guards might tell you you're safe. The court might tell you you're safe. They might put you in protective custody as well as they can. But the federal system in Ontario is integrated, so not everybody in your joint is going to be goofy. Now, what happened? I know exactly what happened. Somebody saw him and said, no way. I'm not living with this dude. And as a matter of fact, I'm smashing this dude. Somebody's got to put a stop to this guy since the courts can't do it. I'm going to do it. That's how it is, man. Judge, jury, executioner. I told you I've seen guys be put on trial. That's not what this is. This is just straight attack. But somebody said no. No. And when you do X offenses, aka sex offenses, this is what happens to you. Now, I'm sure the guy who attacked him probably didn't plan on killing him. The guy was in on a body already, allegedly. The guy who allegedly killed him was already in on a body, but that doesn't mean that he went in with the intent to kill this guy. But he could have very easily got carried away. Now, this story isn't only reflective of somebody who's a sex offender. This can happen to anybody. You always have to be on point if you got problems. And this guy clearly knew he had problems and was running from jail to jail. Apparently, he had told his lawyer at one of his trials, I'm attacked everywhere I go. You make your bed, you lie in it. And We've all been put in circumstances that we don't want to be put in. Anybody who's gone to prison, right? Nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to fight when they, well, no, I can't say nobody, but most people don't want to fight for their food and fight to use the phone. This is not a lifestyle most people want to live, but you do what you got to do to survive and get out. The problem with this person is he put himself in an unwinnable situation. He knows he's been arrested multiple times. He knows how people feel about him, but clearly his drive, his need to satisfy his actual hunger shows you that you can't help these people. Knowing he's going to get killed if he goes in, he keeps going in anyways. He keeps taking that risk anyways. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad. You know, somebody who victimizes young children like that over and over and over again doesn't deserve that, right? Doesn't deserve for me or anybody to feel sorry for them. They got to take what they get, and they made their bed. Karma is a bitch. Karma is a bitch. Getting your head booted in a shower is probably the worst way you could possibly go out. Now, I can't say for sure he was booted. Maybe his head was smashed in with a pipe. Maybe who knows what happened, right? I don't know. But that's a horrible way to die. It's a horrible and lonely way to die. And this guy knew that that was going to happen, but he put himself there anyways and accepted his fate. It shows you how much of a sickness it is. If you told me, somebody who always did burglaries, broke into houses, stole things, stuff like that, if you break into that house, somebody's going to be waiting on the other side with a gun, they're going to slap you out, I wouldn't do it. I'm telling you, I wouldn't. This person knew that if he kept doing what he was going to do, it was going to land him in the penitentiary, and then everybody is your enemy. Obviously, I share my stories with you guys, so you guys don't have to go through these things yourselves. If I could snap my fingers and nobody ever has to be sexually assaulted again, I would do that, and that would be amazing. But I can't, because these creeps are out there no matter what. Some people are just off mentally. Some people just have no empathy for the next person. And at the end of the day, I genuinely feel that for some of these people, the only solution is death. Sad to say. This guy, clearly, there was only two things for him. Life in prison, dangerous sexual offender, or losing his life at the hands of another person for the things that he's done. This guy clearly has decided that this was his fate. Now that's terrible. It's horrible that anybody would think that way, but this isn't really anything special to just people on sex offenses. This can happen to anybody that goes to prison. You can get caught in a vulnerable situation for standing up for yourself against somebody who's just out of their mind. You could get in a beef with somebody who's just out of their mind. There's a handful of people out there that are willing to go that extra step, stomp somebody out till they're dead, stab somebody till they're dead for small things. And the chance of you bumping into those people in the streets is a lot less. But in prison, you have a good chance of coming across them. That's why I tell you, it is never worth it to go, no matter what. You can make money legitimately. Even a little bit at a time is better than getting a bunch of money at one time and then going to prison for a bunch of years and putting your life at risk every single day of your life. If you could please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos. Now, this guy said specifically that he was in a prison. This is what he told the judge. He was in a prison where another guy had been killed for the exact same thing the day he was getting out. He's still reoffended. I don't understand. But at the end of the day, just realize that life is worth it. Even if life is difficult, even if every single day you wake up and it seems like just hell for you, it's worth it. And your freedom is worth it, because it can get worse. I'm telling you, prison is worse. You can't breathe when you want to, basically. Your whole life, your whole day is decided by somebody else. It's not worth it. Love each and every one of you at the new Matt Clark. And believe me, this guy who was on this guy's list, the guy who killed the guy, sorry, I forgot that. The guy who had killed the guy before had a hit list of ex-offenders, sex offenders that he wanted to get. And this guy's name was on the list. You'd think that that would be enough to tell him, hey, I probably shouldn't reoffend. But no, he reoffended, went back to prison, attacked, shipped out here, attacked, and clearly the last one took his life. Stay out of prison, man. Love each and every one of you. The new Matt Clark.